provide you with the lowest per GB rates, night or day. SLT 4G, driving you ever forward.
Making headlines on First at 9. Indonesia's tsunami death toll crosses 800 while many are still feared trapped. Possible hike. Finance Minister warns that Iran-US dispute will impact local fuel prices. Take responsibility. Former Defence Secretary holds government responsible for all economic impediments. Westmore Pass. TNA MP Sumandaran wants police powers to the north. Strict measures to ensue. ICC will now consider ball tampering as level 3 offence.
Let's nurture fresh colours seen by little eyes, guided by the light of our love. This space is for your little one. Adding flavour to World Children's Day. Tiara.
A very good evening and welcome to First at 9 on Derana 24/7 Sri Lanka's news channel. I'm Katrina Chang. Now on to your top story tonight. Department of Meteorology issued a special advisory for heavy rains and thunderstorm for the next few days owing to a low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of the island. Meanwhile, injuries and damages were reported by the adverse rainy conditions since yesterday.
Marking an end to the months-long drought in the country, showers and thunder showers occurred in most parts of the island since the previous week, especially in the northern, north-central, central, Sabaragamuwa and Uva provinces. Causing traffic disruption, roads in Haruna in the Kandy district were seen submerged due to heavy falls since yesterday. 400 stores and houses in the city were also inundated last night. However, floodwater levels were seen receding at some places. Minister of Postal Services and Muslim Religious Affairs, MH Halim, engaged in an observation tour in the affected areas today. Meanwhile, Halpe area in Bandarawela was also affected by floodwaters yesterday. Crops in several nearby areas including Attanapitia and Haliala were destroyed by the floods. Meanwhile, 2 women were injured last night after a concrete wall collapsed on 3 houses in Bandarawela. They were immediately admitted to the district hospital in Bandarawela. A house in Hiloe area was also seen damaged after a landslip following heavy rain. Meanwhile, the Road Development Authority cleaned up the main coastal road from Akurala to Totagamuwa in Ambalangoda, which was covered with sand after strong oceanic waves. Strong waves also disrupted daily lives in coastal areas of Kalutara and outfall of the Kaluganga River. Fishermen in Gaul meanwhile refrained from going into the sea today. Department of Meteorology also requested the naval and fishing communities to be vigilant as heavy showers and strong winds can be expected at southeastern deep sea areas and in the coastal area extending from Negombo to Gaul via Colombo.
Now we will have more updates on the weather condition later on in our news segment. A forecast first, stay tuned for that. And on to some other local news now. Minister of Finance and Mass Media Mangala Samaraweera says that the government has been able to settle all due debts in a timely manner this year. He added that speaking at an event in Mathura today, he added that the country's debt is expected to increase to 4 trillion rupees next year, out of which 74% is incurred owing to loans borrowed by the previous government. A membership drive was held at Mathura with the presence of General Secretary of the United National Party, Akhlebiraj Karewasam, and Minister Mangala Samaraweera.
අපි දැන් මිල සූත්‍රයක් ගෙනල්ලා ඒකටත් බනිනවා. මිල සූත්‍රය ගෙනාවේ ජාත්‍යන්තරයත් එක්ක ඉදිරියට යන්න මොකද වැඩි වෙන වෙලාවට වැඩි වෙනවා අඩු වෙන වෙලාවට අඩු වෙනවා. එදා මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂට ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨාධිකරණයෙන් පෙට්‍රල් මිල ගණන් වැඩි කියලා අඩු කරන්නයි කියලාත් එතුමා අඩු කරේ නැහැ. ජනතාවට බල දීලා යන්නත් බෑ. මේ මිල සූත්‍රය අනුව වැඩි වෙනකොට වැඩි වෙනවා අඩු වෙනකොට අඩු වෙනවා. හැබැයි අවාසනාවකට වගේ මේ දවස්වල වැඩි වෙන ප්‍රවණතාවයක් තියෙන විශේෂයෙන්ම ඇමරිකාවයි ඉරානයයි අතර ඇති වෙලා තියෙන මහ බරපතල ගැටුම නිසා ඊයේ වෙනකොටත් ඩොලර් 81 දක්වා තෙල් මිල වැඩි වුණා. 10 වෙනිදා මිල සූත්‍රයක් එනවා. මේ අවුරුද්දේ අපි ලංකා ඉතිහාසයේ වැඩිම ණය ප්‍රමාණය රුපියල් මිලියන 1900කට වඩා ණය ගෙවනවා. එන අවුරුද්දේ ඒක ට්‍රිලියන 4ක් දක්වා වැඩි වෙනවා. මේ ණයෙන් 83ක් රාජපක්ෂලා ගත්ත ණය. එන අවුරුද්දේ ගෙවන්න තියෙන ට්‍රිලියන 4න් 174ක් රාජපක්ෂලා ගත්ත ණය. වගකිය යුතු ආණ්ඩුවක් හැටියට අපි මේ හැම සතයක්ම නිසි වෙලාවට නිසි මොහොතට ගෙවලා තියෙනවා. මේ තියෙන රුපියලේ අර්බුදේනුත් අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕන පාඩමක් තියෙනවා. ලංකාව ආපනයන ආර්ථිකයක් කරා යන්න ඕන.
President Maithripala Sirisena today participated in the Walk for Change organised to highlight the need to completely do away with physical punishment within the school system by 2020. Organised by the civil society organisation Stop Child Cruelty, the walk commenced from Independence Square in Colombo this afternoon. Stop Child Cruelty organisation emphasises the need to stop physical punishment within the school system following proven results that these punishment methods affect child development, which lead to negative behaviour during the years of adolescence and youth. Now, former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the current government should take responsibility for the economic downfall. He expressed these views at an event held this evening.
Another edition of the public discussion on the country's economy organised by Elia organisation was held under the auspices of former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa in Kaduvela today.
අවුරුදු දෙකමාරක කාලයක් තුල පසුගිය රජය කරගෙන ගිය සියලුම සංවර්ධන කටයුතු නැවැත්වුවාම ආර්ථිකය මේ වගේ කඩා වැටෙන දෙයක් අහන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. අද මේ රටේ නීතිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම කඩා වැටිලා. පාතාලේ හිසෝසවලා තියෙනවා නම් හැමදාමත් හැමතැනම මිනුමැරුම් සිදු වෙනවා නම් ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයක් තහවුරු කරන්නේ කොහොමද? අද ඡන්ද කීයක් කල් දාලාද මේ අය? දැන් එහෙම කළත් මේ අය කතා කරනවා තරු හතේ ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදයක් ගැන. මම දැක්ක රුපියල කඩා වැටීම පිළිබඳව ඇමරිකාවේ ජනාධිපතිවරයාට චෝදනා කරනවා. අගමැතිතුමා කතා කරනවා ෆයිනෑන්ෂල් හබ්, ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රියල් හබ්, එයාපෝට් හබ්. මුත් මේවා අවුරුදු 4ක් තිස්සේ කතා කිරීම පමණයි. මේවා කිසිම දෙයක් ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙලා නැහැ. ඇත්ත වශයෙන්ම ආර්ථිකේ කඩා වැටෙන්නට හේතු වුණු අය ඉන්නේ මේ රජය තුල.
Now, starting from today, readers will now have the opportunity to get their hands on the Sunday Morning and Sati Aga Aruna every Sunday, marking another milestone in the media landscape of Sri Lanka. 2 national newspapers issued their first editions to the market, covering a wide array of subject matters from political to entertainment.
Liberty Publishers today issued its maiden edition of 2 national newspapers, The Sunday Morning and Sati Aga Aruna, covering current affairs, politics, business, arts and entertainment as well as features to quench the reader's thirst for knowledge across the country. Politicians, veteran media personalities and scholars participated in the launch of the maiden editions today. Penetrating the English newspaper market with its fresh outlook on Sri Lanka and the world, the Sunday Morning will cater to the English audience every Sunday starting from today.
There have been a lot of questions are being asked about why another English newspaper and whether there is a market for a newspaper, and the answer is yes. Despite there being a lot of clutter and a lot of media from electronic, print to digital and all that, there is a market for a credible news platform, and ethical journalism is what we thrive on at the Sunday Morning. We believe that being a voice for the voiceless and being a platform for credible news and ethical journalism has a good market in Sri Lanka and will always be there.
The Sunday Morning will be joined by its sister paper Sati Aga Aruna with the goal of catering to Sinhala readers in Sri Lanka, giving a new perspective on the fields of politics, current affairs, entertainment and business as well as other societal aspects.
පත්තරේ හොයාගන්න අමාරුයි කියලා නොඑක් දෙනා අපිට කියනවා. පත්තරේ හොයාගන්න අමාරු වෙන්නේ ජනතාවට හොයාගන්න අමාරු දේවල් අපි පළවෙනි පත්‍රෙම දීලා තියෙනවා. තෙල් මිල සූත්‍රය මුළු රටම හෙව්වා, පාර්ලිමේන්තු මන්ත්‍රීතුමන්ලා හෙව්වා. තොරතුරු දැනගෙන මේ පනතයට ඉල්ලා හිටියා. ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ අධිකරණයට යන්න සූදානම් වුණා. පළවෙනි සතියේම අපි තෙල් මිල සූත්‍රය හොයලා දුන්නා.
Every Sunday from today onwards, readers across Sri Lanka will now get their weekly dose of knowledge in all aspects of society.
Every Sunday from 30th September.
Chief Minister of Northern Province C.V. Vigneshwaran says that the North has no reservations in cooperating with the majority community of the country as long as their regional rights are recognized. These views were expressed at an event held in Jaffna today.
We have no reservations at all in cooperating and coordinating with the centre or with the majority community so long as our regional rights are recognized and enshrined in our constitution. So please be certain that we are mostly interested in seeing that there is peace and prosperity to this island, and we will work together in this so long as you don't forget that we have regional rights for ourselves. வடபகுதியின் சுற்றுலா அபிவிருத்தி வளர்ச்சி அடையாமைக்கு இப்பகுதியில் இடம்பெற்ற நீண்டகால யுத்தம் ஒரு காரணமாக காட்டப்படுகின்ற போதிலும் யுத்தம் நிறைவுக்கு வந்து 9 ஆண்டுகள் கடந்துவிட்ட நிலையிலும் சுற்றுலாத்துறையின் வளர்ச்சியானது எதுவித முன்னெடுப்புகளுமின்றி முடங்கி கிடப்பது வருத்தத்திற்குரியது. இதற்கு போதுமான நிதி வசதிகள் மத்திய அரசாங்கத்தினால் வழங்கப்படாமை ஒரு காரணம்.
The TNA parliamentarian M.S. Sumandran points out that the incident of violence by certain groups in Jaffna could be brought to an end had the northern province been under police in charge. The parliamentarian also highlighted that it is unnecessary for the army to get involved in matters of law enforcement.
குடாநாட்டில் விசேஷமாக அதிகரித்து வந்து கொண்டிருந்த வாழ்வெட்டு சம்பவங்கள் மற்ற குற்றச்செயல்கள் சம்பந்தமாக நாங்களும் எங்களுடைய கரிசனையை எடுத்து சொல்லியிருக்கிறோம். அதை போலீசார் கட்டுப்படுத்த வேண்டும் என்பது எங்களுடைய நிலைப்பாடு. அதை கட்டுப்படுத்துவதற்கு இராணுவத்தினுடைய ஈடுபாடு அறவே தேவையில்லை. இராணுவத்தினுடைய செயற்பாடு இப்படியாக சட்டம் ஒழுங்கை நிலைநாட்டுகிற செயற்பாடுகளிலே அவர்கள் ஈடுபட வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை. தற்போது இந்த குற்றச்செயல்கள் சற்று அடங்கி இருப்பதாக தெரிகிறது. அப்படி இருந்தாலும் நேரத்துக்கு நேரம் ஒவ்வொரு இடங்களிலே ஒவ்வொரு செயல்கள் இடம்பெறுகின்றன. இது போலீசார் முற்றுமுழுதாக பொறுப்படுத்தி கவனம் எடுத்து செய்யப்பட வேண்டிய ஒரு செயற்பாடு. மாகாணத்துக்கு போலீஸ் அதிகாரம் இருந்திருந்தால் இது மிகவும் இலகுவாக கட்டுப்படுத்தக்கூடியதாக இருந்திருக்கும். தமிழ் மொழி பேசுகிற போலீசார் இல்லாத காரணம் இதற்கான பிரதானமான ஒரு குறைபாடு என்று நான் பல தடவைகளிலே சொல்லியிருக்கிறேன்.
Let us look at some other news making news across Sri Lanka.
A 40-year-old woman died in Veligampitiya, Jayala following a drive-by shooting took place at Veligampitiya Junction at Jayala this noon. The victim died upon admission to the Ragama hospital. The police said that the victim might not have been the intended target. Meanwhile, another vehicle which was driven parallel to the victim's vehicle at that time had directly driven to the Jayala police station and complained about the shooting. Police suspect that was the unidentified gunman's intended target. Train fares will be increased by minimum 15% with effect from tomorrow. However, the minimum fare of ₹10 will not be changed under the fare revision as proposed by the 2018 budget proposal. Accordingly, the previous minimum fee of ₹10 for the third class, ₹20 for the second class and the ₹40 for the first class will remain unchanged. Consumer Affairs Authority has issued an extraordinary gazette imposing a maximum retail price on bottled drinking water. Accordingly, the price of a water bottle below 500 millimeters will be ₹26, below 1 litre will be ₹35 and below 1.5 litres will be ₹50.
You are watching Sri Lanka's award-winning news channel, Derana 24/7.
Minister of Labour and Trade Union Relations Ravindra Samarveera says that the government is planning to invest ETF and EPF funds in a beneficial manner. Speaking at an event held in Hatton yesterday, Minister Samarveera stressed that it is pivotal to regain the confidence of trade unions by educating them on the necessity of reinvesting such funds.
ट्रिलियन දෙකක් අපි ළඟ තියෙනවා කියලා. අපේ සල්ලි නෙමෙයිනේ. තමුන්නාන්සලගේ සල්ලි. ETF එක ගත්තොත් අපි කියනවා මිලියන 285ක් අපි ළඟ තියෙනවා. අපේ සල්ලි නෙමෙයි තමුන්නාන්සලගේ මුදල්. ඒ නිසා අපි තවත් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා ඉදිරියේදී මේ මුදල් වලින් තමුන්නාන්සලට යම්කිසි සේවාවක් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න. මේ අපේ රටේ විතරයි මේවා නිකම් බැංකුවල දාලා තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ. ඉතින් මේකට සමහර වෘත්තීය සමිති කැමති නෑ. නමුත් අපි ඉදිරියේදී බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා එයා දැනුවත් කරලා මේක මොකක් හරි තැනක යොදවන්න ඕනේ. අපි අවුරුද්දකට වතාවක් ජිනීවා නුවර එහෙම ගියාම ILO සංවිධානයේ රැස්වීමට එහෙම අපෙන් අහනවා ඒ රටවල් වල මිනිස්සු උඹලා මේක තියාගෙන මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? මොකද අපේ රටේ විතරයි අමතුමා මේ මුදල අපි ආයෝජනය කරන්නේ. මේක ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ පහුගිය කාලේ මේවා වැරදි විදිහට ආයෝජනය වුණා. ඒ ආයෝජනයේ වැරදි විදිහට වුණ හින්දා දැන් වෘත්තීය සමිතිය එහෙම බයයි. මේ සල්ලිත් අරගෙන අපිට මේකත් නැති වෙයිද කියලා.
Elon Musk agreed yesterday to step down as chairman of Tesla and pay a $20 million fine in a deal to settle charges brought this week by Securities and Exchange Commission in the United States. Now, under the settlement, which requires court approval, Musk will be allowed to stay as CEO but must leave his role as chairman of the board within 45 days. He cannot seek re-election for 3 years, according to court filings. According to a court document, he accepted the deal with the SEC without admitting or denying the allegations of the complaint. The US SEC said in a press release that $40 million in penalties will be distributed to harmed investors under a court-approved process. The company also agreed to appoint 2 new independent directors to its board and establish a board committee to oversee Musk's communications. The announcement from the SEC comes 2 days after the agency filed a lawsuit against Musk, claiming he misled investors. The suit centers on tweets Musk sent on August 7th, in which he said he had secured funding to take Tesla private at a $420 a share, causing the company's stock to soar. He had not secured the funding. Musk called SEC's suit unjustified. Now, analysts expect low activity in the Colombo bourse over the course of the week owing to low buying interest in the market. During the week, the SPI and the S&P SL 20 lost 0.72% and 0.49% respectively, whilst recording an average daily turnover of 470 million rupees. With that, let's cross over to Dimantha Matthew from First Capital Holdings with your weekly forecast for the upcoming week.
The market continued to be trending down in spite of the dead cat bounce that was there last Wednesday. We expect the market to be on a stagnant note ahead of the monetary policy announcement that's likely to take place next Tuesday. Amidst the weak sentiment, we do not expect any significant buying interest in the market. As a result, turnover and activity are also likely to be on the lower side. Further, continuing outflows in the emerging and frontier markets is likely to continue to affect the Colombo bourse as well in the coming days.
The confirmed death toll from the earthquake and tsunami that struck the Indonesian island of Sulawesi has risen to 832 and is likely to reach thousands. More than 150 aftershocks followed the 7.5 magnitude earthquake and subsequent tsunami, which hit Sulawesi last Friday, causing thousands of homes, hotels, shopping malls and several mosques to collapse.
Many people were reported trapped in the rubble of buildings brought down in the 7.5 magnitude earthquake, which struck last Friday and triggered tsunami waves as high as 6 meters. More than 150 aftershocks followed the 7.5 magnitude earthquake. Hundreds of bodies have been found on beaches and authorities fear many may have been washed out to sea. A coastal bridge in Palu was ripped apart by the tsunami. With confirmed deaths only from Palu, authorities are bracing for much worse as reports filter in from outlying areas, in particular Donggala, a region of 300,000 people north of Palu and closer to the epicenter of the quake. According to the spokesman of the Indonesian Disaster Mitigation Agency, access to towns of Donggala, Sigi and Butong is limited and there are no comprehensive reports from those areas. Rescuers are trying to reach trapped victims in collapsed buildings after the tsunami swept away buildings with massive waves. The Red Cross estimates that more than 1.6 million people have been affected by the earthquake and tsunami. Indonesian President Joko Widodo today visited Palu, a coastal city on Sulawesi Island. Indonesia is prone to earthquakes due to being located in the Ring of Fire, an arc of volcanoes and fault lines in the Pacific Basin. A powerful earthquake hit the island of Lombok last month, followed by a series of strong quakes throughout the month, with over 500 people being killed.
The United States announced that it will close its consulate in the southern Iraqi city of Basra, blaming increasing threats from Iran and Iranian-backed forces. The city was experiencing violent protests over the recent weeks and earlier this month, and protesters set alight government and political buildings, including the Iranian consulate and headquarters of an Iran-backed paramilitary force.
Claiming that there are threats from Iran and Iranian-backed forces, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced in a statement that U.S. will close its consulate in the southern Iraqi city of Basra and all but emergency staff would be relocated to Baghdad. He repeated earlier warnings that United States would hold Iran responsible for any harm to its citizens or facilities. Basra is home to more than 2 million people and has witnessed violent protests in recent weeks. Decisions by the US comes amid growing tensions with Iran after President Donald Trump reinstated economic sanctions on Tehran following the US withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal. Iran, the region's main Shia power, has fostered ties with Iraq's Shia majority since the downfall of long-term leader Saddam Hussein. The protests in the city have been fueled by growing public anger over poor infrastructure, contaminated water and a lack of jobs in a region that generates much of Iraq's oil wealth. At the UN this week, Iran and US taunted each other, with Trump's national security advisor John Bolton warning Iran that there would be hell to pay if it crosses the US.
Macedonians are having a landmark referendum today on whether to accept a crucial deal, ending a decades-long dispute with neighbouring Greece by changing their country's name to North Macedonia. Supporters say the deal signed in June would pave the way for Macedonia to enter into the NATO and possibly European Union membership.
Urged by a pro-Western government, Macedonians are going into polls today to vote on whether to change their country's name to Republic of North Macedonia. The question on the referendum ballot is, are you for NATO and EU membership with acceptance of the agreement with Greece? The referendum is one of the last hurdles for a deal reached between Macedonia and Greece in June to settle their quarrel, which has prevented Macedonia from joining major Western institutions since it broke away from then Yugoslavia in 1991. Greece, which has its own northern province called Macedonia, has always maintained that Macedonia's name represented a claim on its territory. It vetoed Macedonia's entrance into NATO and the EU and forced it to enter the United Nations under a provisional name as the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, or FYROM. Macedonian Prime Minister Zoran Zaev argues that accepting a new name is a price worth paying for admission into the EU and NATO. President George Ivanov, meanwhile, has said he will boycott the referendum. The referendum is advisory and not legally binding, but enough members of parliament have said they will abide by its outcome to make it decisive.
You are watching Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Other Derana 24/7.
The International Cricket Council today released the updated version of the Duckworth-Lewis system along with the new ICC Code of Conduct and ICC playing conditions. These will come into effect from today, starting with the first ODI between South Africa and Zimbabwe played in Kimberley.
This is ICC's third version of the Duckworth-Lewis system along with the new ICC Code of Conduct and ICC playing conditions. The latest analysis by ICC has revealed that teams have been able to extend their acceleration patterns for longer periods and the average scores in ODIs have continued to increase. The study has confirmed that in both men's and women's international matches, while overall scoring rates are different, wicket-adjusted resource utilization rates are essentially identical. As such, it has again been confirmed that a single version of the DLS system is compatible with all formats. Meanwhile, ICC also introduced the new offences and the change in level of some existing offences to its code of conduct. The maximum sanction for a level 3 offence has been increased from 8 suspension points to 12 suspension points, equivalent to 6 matches or 12 ODI matches.
Sheila Fernando is at the other Derana Weather Centre with your forecast first evening edition.
A very good evening to our viewers and welcome to Forecast First. Starting off with your temperatures for tomorrow that will vary between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius with the highest of 30 expected in Mullaitivu and Batticaloa. Well, when looking at the map, a low pressure zone will develop in the central hills and will gradually spread throughout the island. Well, according to the Department of Meteorology, due to a low-level atmospheric disturbance in the vicinity of Sri Lanka, prevailing showery condition is expected to enhance over the island, particularly in the north, central, Sabaragamua and Uva provinces, and expected to continue during the next few days. Heavy falls above 100 millimeters can be expected at some places in the central, Uva, Sabaragamua, northwestern and western provinces, and in Mana and Vaunia districts. That's all from the Weather Centre tonight. Up next is your city-by-city forecast.
Now, on a programming note, our weekly entertainment program Showbiz Tonight, hosted by Mahesh Johnny, will telecast right after First at 9 tonight. So be sure to join us then for the latest from the world of entertainment. And before we go, we'd like to take you to Korčula town in Korčula Island of Croatia. The island is the 6th largest and the most treasured in the country. Now, with a population of about 3,000, the old town with its medieval walls and towers is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Croatia. We hope you enjoy these visuals and have a pleasant evening.
Bringing you the news and information 24 hours a day. This is Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Other Derana 24/7.